Woodcraft Magazine, making woodworking more enjoyable for woodworkers everywhere.
Today we're cutting the tails on the tailboard for a half-blind drawer, and one of the techniques that I have come to use in my shop is both a combination of hand tools and power tools. The reason why I elected to do that way is because power tools add an element of efficiency and repeatability that I just can't achieve with hand tools. The basic components of this setup is a jig much like a crosscut sled that you would use for cross-cutting panels, and a specially ground blade, in this case ground at 14 degrees at the top, so when I make the cuts here I'll have a flat top groove just like I would if the blade was straight and I was ripping a piece of wood with a flat top ripping blade. It's a very simple process. The first step is to establish the blade height, and that could be done simply by holding the board up to the blade like this and checking that the top of the teeth match the baseline that you've already scribed on the board. And you don't have to be exact, just as long as you're not over that height. So to make the initial lineup, all I do is match the outside edge of my outermost tail with the left edge of the kerf in my jig made from my blade. Once I have that set, I'll move over the stop block. And because this is a symmetrical dovetail joint, once I make the first cut, all I need to do is rotate the board to make the matching cut on the opposite side. Now that I have my two outermost cuts established, I need to cut to these lines. And in order to do that, simply slide the board to the right until the next appropriate tail line lines up with that kerf. Move the stop over. The third and final cuts are the same exact process, and this is the repeatability that can be enjoyed with a jig use like this. Once all the cuts have been made on the table saw, all I have left to do is remove the waste in the middle.